JJ Jinx!
Truck stop!
St. Patrick's Day. One of the many holidays that has the important distinction to have been appropriated by us Americans for the purpose of getting absolutely shit-faced. And therefore, it's one of the most important holidays. So I thought that I would commemorate St. Patrick's Day by talking about this. The Sgian Dubh. Now, phonetically, I would pronounce this Sgian Dubh. It's got that Gaelic flair to it. Sgian Dubh. This is a traditional Scottish dagger that is worn as a part of ceremonial dress. But that wasn't always the case. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, Scottish? Bear with me, I'll make the connection. First, we gotta talk about the actual words. Sgian means knife. Dubh means black. Or, in the context of the Sgian Dubh, hidden. Sort of the double meaning, black, hidden. And it's called that because these were literally hidden on the person. Usually, inside of your stocking. Now, there was a slightly larger variant of the Sgian Dubh, which actually goes back even further in history, called the Sgian Achilles. Achilles? I'm not even sure how to pronounce it. I, for some reason, couldn't find that out. But it literally means armpit knife, because you keep it up your sleeve. And then, yeah, hidden armpit knife. Exactly the type that we see making an appearance in the historical documentary Braveheart. That is a Sgian Achilles, and it was snuck past the guards by Stephen, who is no true Scotsman. Literally.
Your island? You mean Ireland?
Yeah, it's mine.
He's Irish. Ah, there's my connection. Now, I'm allowed to talk about this for St. Patrick's Day, see? All is well. Now, there's no hard and fast rules about how a Sgian Dubh is constructed. It's usually steel, traditionally, back in the day, German or Scandinavian steel. And the handle is either made of wood or animal horn. Now, originally, the Sgian Dubh was sort of a all-purpose utility knife. People used it to prepare fruits, vegetables, meat, cut things like, textiles, and you just used it for everything. It was the tool that you always had and used for all that stuff. But in times of conflict, it became your weapon, your hidden weapon. Gotta sneak it past the guards and take out your opponents. Damn English. A couple of characteristics about the Sgian Dubh that have become common. In this particular example, we have plastic, which is shaped to look like leather for the scabbard, plastic, which is shaped to look like wood for the handle, and plastic, which is made to look like silver for the decorative bits. Now, way back in the day, I guess the Irish and Scottish didn't really trust paper money, so they wore their wealth. They got gold, silver, and stuff like that, and they would decorate their things with it, including their Sgian Dubhs. It wasn't uncommon for these to have the crest of their clan, for example. This particular one is adorned with a crap ton of Scottish thistles. See? Thistle, 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 thistle. Thistle, 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 Thistle. Thistle. Let's have a look at the blade itself, shall we? Now, again, traditionally, there were no hard and fast rules about the blade shape. Sometimes they were clip point blades, sometimes they were drop point blades. We know this because there's a whole bunch of old school Sgian Dubhs in the University of Edinburgh. This particular one has a fuller stamped into it, and you got this interesting looking spine work. That's called scalloped spine work, and is very universal for Scottish daggers. You see that all the time, like on everything they make. It's traditional for a lot of militaries to salute, which is a sign of respect and to show I'm unarmed. They don't do that in Scotland. They say, oh fuck yeah, I'm armed, and I will fuck you up. I'm just letting you know I have a weapon. I kind of like that. And the way they do it is, when you walk into somebody's home, or you gather for a meeting, you take your Sgian Dubh out of your stocking and you wear it on the outside of your stocking, or you have it poke up so, you know, you can see it. And that's where you can see these a lot today. In traditional Highland dress, you'll see it poking up out of your stockings just under the kilt there. Interestingly, there are a lot of laws about these that allow them for ceremonial reasons, depending on the region. Kind of like with the Sikh kirpan, where there are rules and regulations about, oh, should people carry it into schools? Should people carry it into public places? And it varies, but generally these are not allowed in schools. And there was actually a story of somebody who was arrested in, I think, Quebec, because he wore one to a dance traditional ceremony, and so he sued, and police eventually dropped the case, and he got his Sgian Dubh back. Now, this is a cheap, rattly old thing that you can buy online for like less than $10. It's all plastic, with the exception of the blade. And I wanted to get a really nice one, because after I got this one in and I decided to make this video, I was like, this is just insulting. Get the fuck out of here. Let's have a look at a really nice one. So here's a real fancy one that I got from the company Highland Sgian Dubh. And you got a handsome looking antlered mammal of some kind. This was handcrafted in Scotland. This Sgian Dubh has been handcrafted in Argyll, Scotland. The design is based on original daggers from the mid-1700s, around the time of the Jacobite uprising against the English. You can check out their website at antlersgiandubh.co.uk. More historical facts on the inside. Yeah, there's that thistle again. The word Sgian Dubh is Gaelic. Oh, let's see how much of this I got wrong. Sgian means dagger or knife, so whew, dodged a bullet there. Dubh means black, so we can derive the words black dagger. This refers to the covert way in which this weapon was carried, rather than to its color. In the 17th century, Scotland was a very dangerous place. Indeed, these were cloak and dagger times. A Highlander would always carry a Sgian Dubh secreted somewhere about his person, often under his arm. But when at a gathering of his kin or clan, when other weapons would be discarded, his Sgian Dubh would be worn in his sock, and only shown openly as a mark of respect and openness, yet still affording some means of protection for both himself and his host. Okay, I actually didn't know that was in there, and it kind of sounds like I got most of it right. So you've heard it from the Scots themselves. J.J. Jinks knows his knives. This particular piece is quite beautiful. We have just one thistle for a change, and it's not plastic. It's, well, some kind of metal, probably pewter, and it's textured. It's three-dimensional. Very nice. The very back of the blade is some kind of marble. Now the handle is made from bog oak, which is a very dark and hard wood. And we have a leather sheath with some Gaelic-looking thing adorning it, and a very highly polished blade. Here you can see the scalloped file working, and it looks much better than it did on that other cheapo one. Here they are, side by side. You can see the one at the top there is kind of half-assed. This is quality craftsmanship, and that's all done by hand. Unlike the cheapo, which is actually sharpened, this one is not. It's dull, because this is intended as the decorative piece that it is. Decorative, ceremonial. Stick it in your sock, have some whiskey, and a green beer. And even though it's a Scottish thing, on St. Patrick's Day, we're all Irish.